Good morning, everybody. You're tuned into Cragcore. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you for watching the channel and all of that good stuff. So, I hope you've enjoyed this year's videos so far. It's been a bit of a wild one so far this year. I mean, it's been building though, hasn't it? You know, the last however many years, I've got a man thinking. You know, I've been thinking. It's provoked some thoughts in me just lately, because at the minute it just seems to be one thing after the other, doesn't it? Now, what it's got me thinking about is how society has reacted to each individual crisis. Because there's been, I mean, I say crisis very loosely, you know, crisis with a lowercase c, because it's not actually been an official crisis, in my opinion. They've been manufactured, they've been orchestrated. That's basically, you know, the way it is. You've just got to look at it. It's how it is. It's orchestrated. Crikey. Anyway, it's obvious at this point. How has society reacted to these crises, man? Lowercase c. Because it's important to look at, you know. It's important to monitor these things, to know that how, you know, you can start to think about how we might end up in the future and what we might be led into, so you can kind of prepare yourself. If you're an individual like myself that likes to do these things, you know, likes to think about these things and mentally prepare, I guess, as best as possible. Which is ultimately, in my opinion, the reason for all of these things, you know, on some level, not the only level, but there are many levels to these things, as we all know. But on some level, one of the reasons for all this stuff is as like a public census. It's to basically find out how people are going to react. You remember they used to send out those pieces of paper and ask you what dog food you had and what biscuits you like. You know, it was all basically multiple choice. And it was just a psychological operation, wasn't it? To try and find out who people were and what kind. It was a social profiling thing. That's what I'm looking for. And that's ultimately what we're going through now, you know, like the stages get more and more extreme as the years go by. It's no longer a piece of paper that's being delivered to you. It's actually a full-on thing that is now happening to you. So, and again, part of it is this census. They want to know how people are going to react so they can judge where to push and how to push and how far to push on the next step. You know, what people's reaction is likely to be. Now, if you think about this, we all remember the toilet roll and the pasta, don't we? Here in the UK, you say toilet roll and pasta in the same sentence or next to one another in the same sentence like that. The memories start flooding back of empty shelves. Oh, yeah. Toilet roll and pasta. A bit of tomato sauce, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, we remember the toilet roll and pasta crisis. Capital C. You know, 2020 or whatever it was now. God almighty. What we seem to find with all of these crises is they have a tendency to separate civilization, lowercase c. They have a tendency to separate us, the people, as opposed to invoking a unifying force within the people. You know, a sense of unity. You then look at what happened with the fuel You remember the fuel crisis? I'm not going to keep doing capital and lowercase. By this point, you know what I mean. The fuel bloody shit that went on. People were fighting in the petrol station forecourts. Having fist fights because of a manufactured crisis. And I mean, we could speculate over the reasons as to what it was. Some people said they had lots of fuel that was going out of date because nobody was filling their cars in the lockdown. So that's why they were doing it, so people would rush and buy it so they didn't lose out, so they could make profit still. And then it was capitalized upon, and well, you know, this worked, didn't it? People were going out of their way to punch one another in the forecourts for this fuel stuff. So I know, let's create another crisis. You had the war crisis, you know, lowercase. I'm gonna have to keep doing it because it's funny for me. The lowercase c war crisis. And, you know, that served to separate the people. Everybody's got their own little picture on Facebook with their the little Ukrainian flag on it. Give me a break. It was like with the, you know, the I'm bloody jabbed stuff on the profile picture. Give me a break, man. Talk about virtue signalling, man. I hate virtue signalling. It's fascistic virtuism. That's what it is. I coined the phrase and I'm owning it. It's fascistic virtuism. The definition of which is to be so virtuous that you create an air of fascism surrounding what it is you're being virtuous about. You push it down people's throats so hard that people then feel as though they've got to follow suit in order to be, you know, remain in, you know, like public favour. Fascism by virtue, basically. Oh, I know. We'll get everybody to prove that they're virtuous by going along with this thing that we will promote as being the most virtuous thing, therefore creating a fascist state. Because now everybody's doing what we want them to do and not what they want to do. You know, they're having to just go along with the crowd for the sake of not being publicly beheaded on Facebook. Fucking Facebook. You know what? Turn it off. Take the app off your phones and off your computers. Turn it off. Just don't use it. That's all you've got to do, guys. Just don't use it. It's not something that you need in life. You know, it isn't. As much as people think that these things, they need them to survive, they're addicted to them. Just turn it off. That's all you've got to do. And it goes away. The only control these people have over your mind is that which you allow them to force in there. This is the biggest propaganda drive of our existence. I dare say of human existence. They are in everybody's pocket, literally. They used to have to do it by printing out billboards and newspaper articles and stuff like this in the hope that people would buy the newspapers and go out enough to see the billboards. But now all they've got to do is put it on Facebook, start it trending, and before you know it, everybody's on about it. That's what everybody believes. They're in your pocket. It's the biggest propaganda drive of our human existence on planet Earth, I dare say. And you're letting it happen. In fact, you love it, you know? It's like cannabis, man. He said, technology is a gift, but it's also a weapon of mass destruction. teaching us how to hate, but in a way that we love it. Something along those lines. I've probably missed a few words out, but that's the gist. Oh, that's it. A weapon of mass destruction giving global instruction. Teaching us how to hate, but in a way that we love it. That, listen to those words and look at society. It is a blessing, man, technology. It can advance our lives tenfold, but it is being used in such a way that teaches us to hate one another, and we love it. We can't get enough. It's our drug at the minute. Not mine. I got rid of Facebook a long time ago. I deleted that shit off my phone during the first LD, shall we say. L-downs. Got rid of that. So much hatred and negativity that every time you went on there, there was this guttural feeling of negativity, wasn't there? So I got rid. And that's what everybody should do. Just get rid. They've got no power. You know, these companies like Facebook, they're only worth what they're worth. You're creating billionaires. You're giving them their power over you. You're creating billionaires by using their apps so much that now they are worth something in the public sector because of the advertising value and stuff like this, and the value that investors place on it, because now they can push their political agendas on you and stuff like this through this echo chamber bloody algorithmic bollocks. So investors invest billions in them because they know that what they get from it is worth tenfold. If they can get you believing that you need to do this or do that or vote a certain way, well, then they've won, and it's worth the money, because the money they're going to make it from all the backhanded deals they're going to make once they're in bloody parliament or power or wherever you want to say, it's astronomical. It's worth it. It's an investment for them. And you're making them this. You're giving them this power. All you've got to do is stop using it, and then the value goes down. Then they're worth nothing, and then they've lost their money. Christ. We could play them at their own game if we wanted to, if we had public unity. You know, and again, look at this energy crisis. I dare say, projecting into the future with regards to whatever it is that this is heading towards, based on the historical non-unity that we've shown during all these other crises, lowercase c, I dare say that where this is headed is some form of energy apartheid, where you'll have some people that can get it, others that can't. I mean, Christ, energy will be like freedom. All to coincide with weather management and all of this kind of stuff. Believe me, they can control the weather. Look at HAARP. Look at all these other fucking things, you know. Jesus Christ. Get with the program, guys. And this is small fry stuff. This is base level. I tell you what, open your eyes, man, and look at these things. With a little public unity, the game is over. And it doesn't take a lot of people. It doesn't take all of us either. It just takes enough to sway the balance. I said this before, right? You've got 40% of people, I think I'm saying the right numbers here. I said it in another one of my videos, so if you go through them, excuse me, it might have been Carpe Diem Memento Mori, I can't remember if it's that one or not, but basically there's a little factor within society where you've got, obviously 100% is the whole, and you break that down, so you've got, I think it's 40% of society that will be swayed to whatever the public agenda is, whatever the narrative is, no matter what. No matter what it is, they're just going to go along with it. So don't worry about the 40%. because they're gone already. No matter what it is the government project, they're going to go along with it. There is absolutely no way you're going to change their mind. These people don't care about it. The government don't care about them because they know they've already got them in the bag. They're netted already. But then you've got 30% of people that can be swayed should they be given the right motivation to be swayed. And then you've got another 30% of people that will never be swayed, no matter what. So ultimately, what they've got to do is put as many psyops as they can into the public sphere so that they can sway the 30% that can be swayed. And that's all they care about, is that 30%. Because once you've got that 30%, or at least a majority of it, if you've got 15%, if you get half of those people, well then you've got 55% of the population, and that's all you need. You just need the majority. You know, you think what the majority is out of 100%, it's only 51. It's not 1% over half. It's not a lot. So what we need to do, as the 30% that can't be swayed, is focus on the 30% of people that can be. And the trouble is, we need more. You know, we need at least 2/3 of that, and then a little bit extra. We need more than 2/3 in order to make it worth the, you know, the global while, so to speak. But we can do it, man. So this is who I'm talking to right now. If you're in any way confused, or if you're in any way you feel disempowered to the degree where you are unsure of what to do, you feel like you want to do the right thing, you feel like that the world is being controlled by disgusting oligarchs that only care about themselves, that don't have your opinion at heart, but you don't know what to do, and you don't know who your friends are, and like you're afraid because your family are shaming you, or your friends are going to shame you should you actually say what it is you truly believe. Well, I would say this: step into courage, out of fear into courage, move into acceptance. You know, have the courage to accept that these people are going to feel this way regardless. And they're going to feel this way if you feel the same way, and they're going to feel this way if you don't. What would you rather do? Would you rather save yourself, or would you rather make them feel a little more comfortable in how they feel, which is ultimately wrong? You know, well, it's not wrong, but it's not right. It's right to them. But when you understand that this whole situation is controlled by a global system of fucking disgusting individuals, you know, a small handful of nasty, tyrannical twats, and that these people are being led by their agenda, it's certainly not right, is it? And to go against that, to feel something different to what that is actually commendable, and then to come out and actually express that is even more. Because guess what? If you, just like me, speak your mind, and you're able to help just one person into courage and acceptance, away from fear and shame, and you can bring them over to the side of like personal empowerment, and back into the fight, being against this nasty tyrannical oligarchy, well then your work here is valid. You know, this is a global war. This is a fight for our humanity right now. This is a fight for you, your soul, your physical sovereignty on this planet whilst you dwell here. This is nothing short of a personal human revolution. And through this human revolution, we save our souls. And trust me, it's nothing short of that. This is quite literally the fight for humanity that is happening right now on your doorstep, in your homes, on your streets, in your minds. This is a fight for humanity right now, and it's happening right now. And what we need to do is get in the fight, pick a bloody side. What side do you want to fall on? Because if you're on my side, and not just mine, but many other people's, that don't mind speaking their mind and that want to actually win this fight for the forces of what is good, which is freedom and true liberty, not just fucking liberal fascism, which is what's going on now. If you want to do that, well, then you've actually got to have the courage to simply be yourself and not be afraid of just accepting in yourself what it is you truly believe and outwardly projecting that. Because that's all it takes, guys. That is all it takes. It will create an energy shift in society. That's all it takes. Save yourself and you save the world. That's all you've got to do. This isn't about standing next to the guy, you know, that's at your right or at your left and storming Parliament. That's not what this is about, you see. That's what we are made to think. That this is an aggressive war. That this is a war that needs to be fought with force and aggression. That's not what this is. You're told that to disempower you. What you really need to do is take yourself back to take back the world. One by one, we can do it. And on that note, I'm going to wish love and peace to all things everywhere. This is Crack Course signing off. Thank you for being here. Peace.